Did you pull out the pull rope on your Ascender today? And maybe you had to do this.
If that recoil hand will come flying off this, it should release off the clutch. And if it doesn't, we have a whirling whip of death. I'll take it.
Now you need to replace your recoil rope, and you've come to the right place, because today, super fast video, we're going to show you how to do that, because you're probably sitting in the parking lot right now, shivering cold, wondering how you're going to get a new rope in it. So let's dive into it. Today's video will apply to anything 2012 up on a pro climb and Ascender chassis. So XFs, Ms, F8000s, it's all going to be the same thing. So first off, you're going to take off your side panel. Now, when you get in here, hopefully you're not looking at a goddamn turbo. Hopefully you're just looking at some sort of exhaust can. On this one, you could actually get at that recoil, which is behind my belt, without taking out this exhaust can. So hopefully, if you got a small exhaust can, you could actually sneak by it without taking out the exhaust. If you have the factory exhaust, you definitely need to take out the exhaust can by removing a spring here, two here, and down here. There's so many variants on exhaust. Yours is going to probably look different, but get your exhaust can out of the way if it's in the way. I'm going to pull out my turbo. If you do have to remove your exhaust, get yourself a spring puller tool or build yourself one like I did. So I took the hood out of the way to help myself out, and this is about as far as I can move my turbo out of the way to get at our recoil case, which is enough room for me. That is where your rope is supposed to go in, and this rope's missing. So I'm going to take off all the bolts around this cover, and we're going to take it completely out. Once you're all done taking the hardware out, the recoil will come out as a complete assembly. There's the knot from what's left of the rope. Now always make sure you're winding your recoil the right direction, because if you wind it the wrong direction, you risk popping that recoil spring off of its holder, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to have to go back into this recoil and take out that spring. It's not fun. One way to quickly check is if you're pulling it in the right direction, that dog will pop out. Okay, don't let go of it. We're gonna give that a few spins. Without overspinning it. Now, if you have a big old C-clamp, this works the best. If not, have your friend hold it. If you're using the C-clamp method, don't push down too tight on this. This is just plastic. This will break, just enough to hold it. I also lined up the rope right in line with the hole below my thumb, so that it'll just be an easy tie job. So on the opposite end of the rope that I am pulling through, I'm going to tie a single knot in it. And I'm going to make sure that knot is nice and tight. And this is something I do for added security. I like to just run a torch over that knot real quick. Just enough to make the edges a little bit hard. And that'll make that knot harder to pull through and harder for it to get itself undone when it's a little bit firmed up. And I'm going to push it through. And then I'm just going to use the pick to help me pull that the rest of the way through. Once I start getting that rope to pull through, I'm going to take it and I'm going to tie a knot in it, kind of like that. And that's now our handle. So that now looks awesome. So carefully, you can take the pressure off of your C-clamp or have your buddy let go. And let that recoil pull itself back in all the way to your handle. And give it a couple tugs. Make sure that everything's feeling good in there. Make sure everything's nice and smooth. And this is now a recoil that's been rebuilt with a new rope, so we can pop it back in. We're now going to reinstall our recoil with the factory bolts with a little bit of blue Loctite. Now that your recoil cover is reinstalled, it comes perhaps the most important part of the entire job is your routing. So first off, I'm going to grab that handle and I'm going to pull the recoil all the way out. And now I have a second knot right at the bottom of the recoil, just to keep that from going in and give us a little bit of slack to work. You can do the knot right off the bottom, right off the bat if you want to. You don't have to do it the way I did it. Little donut thing that I have my finger on, you're going to send the rope through that and grab it on the other side. So this one's tough to show while I'm doing it, but I have the rope that's gone up through that bushing then carried on up, not interfering with any wiring harnesses or anything. And then I went around the back of this steering bracket. Some people may choose to go in the front. That's actually where this one was, because Kat's had issues with the rope rubbing almost right on that nut, that little bracket there for the ignition coils. So if you're gonna put it in the front or the back, just make sure that it's not gonna get too hot from the exhaust or that it's going to rub on that ignition coil bracket. This is a Cat issue. They didn't really think this one through. I changed my mind. I'm actually gonna go in the front of that bracket because it's been there forever and that's not where it failed on me. Somebody's gonna disagree with me on that one. Now, once you've ensured that you are properly roaded, last thing to do is put on your pull handle. So this one is a Cobra pull handle. If you have the stock factory pull handle, it'll be plastic, and there's gonna be like a little plastic stopper piece in here that you'll have to install. But just going to stick this end through. You're gonna tie your knot in it good and firm. Don't be afraid to leave a little bit of tail on there. A little bit of tail is okay. I'm also gonna use my strategy of singeing that knot just a little bit, just to give myself peace of mind. And then once you know you're good up there, you can undo your other knot. Then once you're at that point, give it a good test tug. If your exhaust is on, you can start it. I'm not gonna start it because my clutch isn't in there right now. Once you're done that, take your hood, take your exhaust, stick everything that you took off and put it back on. Hopefully that helped you out in the parking lot today. And if you appreciate videos like this, leave a subscribe, leave a like, all that stuff. Real cool new logo. Glad I helped you out today. You're welcome. Bye, everybody.